What's up, guys? I'm back. My daughter got married over the weekend. I officiated the wedding.
Name all the animals. And then he goes, okay, so the rhinoceros has its mate, and the dog has its mate, and the giraffe has its mate. Where's my mate? There's no other human. I'm the only man on the earth.
I also moved. My wife and I, we moved to a new location with new offices. So it has been a crazy last 7 days, but I'm back to give you an update as we build this business. And as you know, by the end of this year, our goal is to get to 100,000. I'm going to share numbers with you, our sales, so you see inside what we're doing. Now, here's one of the biggest questions that comes up when someone is trying to start a business. What kind of tools do I need? What is my tech stack? What is everything I need for reaching out to customers, following up with customers? What bank should I use? What LLC should I set up? Or should it be a C Corp or an S Corp? What about the ownership agreement? What about the partner agreement? All of that stuff has to be thought through, and it can be overwhelming. So I'm going to take you on a really quick journey on exactly how we did all of this. So let's go. First, we began with our plan. What is our plan? And I used ChatGPT, who have already trained on the kind of business we are building, who our deal clients are, who my business partner is, what my strengths and weaknesses are, what his are, to help me put this plan together. Gone are the days where you need a 50-page business plan to present to someone in nice format. All you need is something that lays out where you're headed, how you're going to get there, and that can hold you and your business partner accountable to making it happen. So once this was created, going back and forth with ChatGPT, here are the end results. First of all, our strategy and kickoff. What are we doing to kick this off? So we align roles, we figure out our KPIs, which is key performance indicators, and then our meeting cadence. How often do we meet? And then we define OKRs for our first 90 days, and then ownership agreement finalized, ownership and partnership agreement signed, exit pass, what if someone wants to depart or leave or sell the company, and then of course our weekly leadership meeting agenda template. And this is what we came up with. First of all, we took care of the legal entity and compliance. And let me show you what we did with that. We created a company structure like this. This is optimized for lowering our tax liability legally. By the way, most people don't know this, but 98% of the IRS's tax legal code is to help you pay less in taxes. When people think, oh, you're just trying to be sneaky and not pay taxes and you're trying to screw over the government. Completely ignoramus statement. Let me tell you, the government wants you to make a business, to employ people. It helps the economy. It helps the government. That's why 98% of all IRS tax code, go to irs.gov and you will see this. The vast majority is on how to reduce your taxes by making smart business decisions. So Ron has his LLC. He is my business partner. Seth, that's me, Keep It Real, have my LLC. And these LLCs together own the C Corp, which has non-voting and voting interest. And then the C Corp owns Elm, which is our DBA, doing business as, which is also an LLC. The way we set this up is to protect our assets as much as possible. So in the case of debt or lawsuit, no one can touch the business assets that belong to the business. I've been through the ringer on debt, lawsuits, being falsely accused, and by the grace of God, I was acquitted of every single thing. But let me tell you, it was hard, and I would do it so differently if I had to go back and redo that again. So many things I would do different because of what I've learned, so I'm doing it right this time. Let me walk you through the next part. Finance and admin, brand and messaging, web and assets, CRM, your customer relationship management tool, telephony, I love that, and ops, analytics and tracking, sales enablement, agent program, demand generation, local presence and listing, security and privacy. Look, I'm not going to bore you to death to take you through all of these. Let me just show them to you really practically. We used our launch plan to create a task list in Todoist. I have looked at dozens of different task management tools, and my favorite by far, even better than Monday, although Tuesday could be a new one coming out soon, I really like Todoist. It's simple, it's clean, and check it out. You have who is responsible for what. Here's my task. Here's Ron's task. Here's Ron's task. Here's my task. And you can go in here and you can have subtasks. Check this out. See all these subtasks? These are remaining tasks I need to do for the website. Check out the CRM through Go High Level. All of these subtasks and who's responsible for each. It's also cool because if I go in here, I can change the deadline. See this? Or I can add a deadline. Well, right now the date is tomorrow. This has to be done by tomorrow. I can change that date if I want. You could do priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, depending on what priority it is. All of ours are priority 1 because we're at the beginning. Like there's no reason to overcomplicate this. The reason I love Todoist is it's so simple. It's everything you need and nothing you don't need. Next, let me talk to you about our partner agreement. How do you know what kind of agreement to set up? The most important part of your partner is not the contract. Because if the relationship isn't good, or if they or you are not a person of integrity, it's going to fall apart anyways. Did you know that the vast majority of businesses who start fail in America, and the vast majority of those businesses that are partnerships fail. So first of all, you have let's just say 100 businesses are started. Over 50% of those fail. But of the ones that succeed for a while, of those that are partnerships, over 70% of those fail. That's why when you pick your business partner, this is so incredibly important. But you still need to get it on paper. That way there's no confusion. The greatest value in a contract is not the legalese. A lawyer will tell you that. Not true. The greatest value in a contract is having calibrated expectations of each other. He knows exactly what's expected of him. I know exactly what is expected of me. So check it out. Ron Palmenter provides expertise in financial services, trust setup, and related products. This is what he's been doing for almost 3 decades. Train Seth on blah, 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 all the different things we're going to be doing that he knows better than I do. Lead business development. He's really good at networking, connecting people, and bringing opportunities through that. Oversee compliance to make sure we are legally compliant, and oversee strategic direction and operational systems so we can scale. Okay, what about Seth? What is he responsible for? Lead go-to-market strategies. I'm very good at branding and marketing and content, so that's my cup of tea. Speaking of tea. Lead the development and execution of organic content. So content marketing, what I'm doing right now, this is content marketing. Leverage your marketing and sales expertise. I'm really good at sales. I'll be training our sales staff once we hire them. Collaborate with Ron to refine expertise to drive lead generation and client acquisition. Collaborate with him to refine marketing campaigns. And of course, participate in operational strategic decisions, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. So mine's going to be more content marketing sales. Ron's going to be more the expertise in the actual financial services, trust, company asset management we're going to be doing. And by combining those, it makes us a really strong team. However, what if one day Seth says, I want to sell part of the company? Or Ron goes, you know what? I'm out. I love you, man. You're awesome, but I'm out of here. What do we do? Well, that is why you have an ownership agreement. Who owns what? And there's one part I want to show you. Ron's and Seth's trust shall be distributed as dividends to shareholders in proportion to their ownership interest, which, by the way, Ron owns 26%, his LLC does, and my LLC owns 26%. What the funny part is, 48% of the company is not owned by us. We're going to divvy that out as leverage to attract really high-value team players. So, for example, if we find a badass salesperson who becomes a sales manager, then we're going to hire him, and part of the deal is the longer he works for us, the more equity he gets in the company so that he not only gets quarterly dividend payouts, but if and when we sell the company, he gets a nice chunk of money as well and go buy an island and retire and drink pina coladas with his wife. This is really cool. I love this part. But Ron and I have the voting rights. We 100% have the voting rights, so no one else can control the company. But what happens if we reach a stalemate? Ron wants to go north, I want to go south. Well, Ron gets the final decision making as spelled out in this agreement. One more thing. What about the bank? What bank should we use? Well, we use Mercury. I've researched all the banks I could find that do online banking well. And it came down to 3, Ali Banking, SoFi, and Mercury. Mercury blew them out of the water, not only because of the interest rates are high, much higher than most banks, although Ali and SoFi are very competitive. But the main thing about Mercury is it was developed specifically for startups. It makes it unbelievably easy compared to Chase, who I used to use, to manage money, to send a wire, to send an ACH, to invest, whatever you want to do. It makes it super clean. You can even set it up so that every transaction creates a record of transactions for your profit and loss statement for your taxes. It's just unbelievably good. And Mercury uses a combination of other banks and they pull it together. It's the front end system that is mind blowing. One more thing before I forget. What about our CRM? Well, we settled on Go High Level. Unbelievable system. I've been using ActiveCampaign for a while, and the more I use it, the more I hate it. It's just not user-friendly. The screen turns white for 2.5 seconds, and that might sound impatient, but in today's world of AI, that's insanely long. Go High Level is unbelievable. It actually has contributed to the decline of ClickFunnels because they're so good at what they do. I'll just give you a quick example. If I go to sites, I was able to build this in 24 hours, by the way, and I have 0 experience building websites. Last time I did it was 2013 on Shopify. That experience doesn't even count. So if I go to Elm, try 1. I'll show it to you. If I go to edit, come on. And here we go. Boom. And I'll just take you to the home page for one example. I built this in Go High Level in a day. I just went out and just said, I'm going to learn how to do this. And by the way, I'm not naturally good at this. This is not my forte, but because we are bootstrapping this operation, we're not receiving investor money at this time. We have to figure it out ourselves. So when you have time and money and you're not getting investments yet, then you need to spend that time so you don't spend as much money. And so here's our front page. I hope you like it. I know there's things that can make it a lot better, but hey, it's just what we need for now. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, website was a bigger deal. Fewer and fewer people care about what your website looks like, but it gives you a presence. So if someone wants to look you up, they can find that information. Okay, next video will be coming out soon as we continue to build this. Our goal is 100,000 by the end of this year. We're going to keep going in spite of the fact that my daughter just got married. I officiated the wedding. My wife and I moved. We're still moving forward with this, and it has been phenomenally fun. It's hard, but it's fun. I'll see you in the next video.